Hi, my name is Liz Schwenke, and welcome to this edition of Inside Scoop, where we talk to friends and neighbors about current and upcoming events in our town. I'm pleased to have two leaders from Provena St. Joseph Medical Center with me this morning, Beth Hughes, President and CEO, and Amy Stevens, Chief Operating Officer. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Beth, I'm going to start with you. We've all watched the construction on Route 30 in Cooper and New Lenox, anticipating the opening of the new Provena St. Joe's medical building. And I've heard that it's going to be a healthcare experience like no other. What does that mean exactly?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us. It's a really exciting time for St. Joe's to open the Healing Arts Pavilion coming up here in a couple short weeks. This has been a dream of ours for the last several years to really change the experience that people have in healthcare, and that's really what the building intends to do. A little bit about the building. Immediate care is in the building, open to the community with extended hours. And what we hope to provide is very fast but accurate and reliable care. It's a physician-staffed immediate care center. Also in the building is a diagnostic center or an imaging center, full imaging, CT, MRI, bone density, digital mammography, X-ray, ultrasound, pretty much anything you'd want in a diagnostic center will be there, as well as primary care physicians on the second floor. It's a two-story building. On the second floor will be primary care physicians, internal medicine, family practice, pediatrics, and new to New Lenox is now geriatric medicine, fellowship-trained geriatricians to take care of patients who are over the age of 65. So that's a new service that we're offering in the building when it opens. In addition, sort of the pinnacle of the facility, if you will, is the Women's Center. It's something we talk a lot about. The Women's Center is on the first floor. It is wholly dedicated to women, really about over the age of 45. There's no hard and fast rule, but we're really going after females who are about 45 to 50 years old and older, who are experiencing all sorts of fun and unique things with their bodies, and we hope really to be able to deal with some of those things that are very difficult for women to deal with and to talk about in the Women's Center. So we're very excited about that.
That sounds all sounds so great. Amy, I know that I've heard that some of the physicians that are going to be in the building are physicians that our New Lenox citizens might already know. Can you talk about some of those physicians?
Absolutely. One of the things that people may not recognize is how long and deep our tradition is here in this Lincoln Way area. Our founding sisters, for one thing, live right in Frankfort. Our corporate headquarters have been in Mokina, and we've had doctors in New Lenox and Frankfort for many, many years, as well as a physical therapy practice right across from the high school. So those that live here will recognize many of the faces and the physicians who are now coming together all under one roof. So they have right there the laboratory services, the imaging services, the aftercare hours, and specialists. And then we're kind of supercharging it, if you will, with new physicians, such as the geriatrician, and within the Women's Center in particular, we are adding many specialists that folks may have had access to maybe over in Joliet. So someone like a Dr. Wendy Marshall, who's both a breast surgeon as well as a trauma surgeon, but whose reputation certainly has far exceeded even the Will County area. And we have been bringing more and more educational programming out to this area. We've started recently a menopause-related series for women called the Red Hot Mamas. We've had tremendous response from the women of the community. Over 100 women showed up on a Thursday night to learn about premenopausal symptoms, and since then we've continued to have that programming. What's nice is now there'll be a physical home for it that was purpose-built to be able to provide not only education, but the clinical services.
So that was formerly held in the Park District and beginning like next month? Or?
We'll start those in August. So in August, you'll see a move from that location over into the new center as it opens. We have a beautiful big atrium space in the lobby. We've got a community education space, and we even have things like a gourmet coffee bar that can provide refreshments and such, and then we certainly have the other services available right there with it.
I have to take advantage of the coffee bar.
Yeah, on your morning commute, all of you morning commuters that stop at that train station, we now have the equivalent of a Starbucks literally right across the street from the train station.
It's terrific. You mentioned a little bit about the sisters in Frankfort and their spa capabilities, and you're pairing up with those capabilities. Can you talk a little bit about what the Sisters in Frankfurt offer?
It's truly a unique relationship. So many people have heard of, for instance, a resort spa where you go away, into the woods and you come out 4 days later magically refreshed and such. Well, one of the things about the Women's Center is that it has more than one physical location. Our hub is certainly the new Lenox Pavilion that's about to open. But our founding sisters have run for many, many years out at what's commonly called the Woods and the Port. Many people in the community will know them by that name there in Frankfurt. It's a 50-acre wooded facility. On that, they do healing body work, they have a labyrinth, they do programming throughout to really address the wider range of services and needs that women have, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So you can get everything from very specialized body massage to they do Native American drum circles, they do poetry readings, they do overnight retreats, they've done women's empowerment conferences. You can even work with them to do a spiritual overnight retreat for 3 days in these wonderful little cottages that they have on site where you can stay. So the extension of the Women's Center is far beyond coming one day to get your your appointment with the gynecologist or a heart cardiologist and maybe a microdermabrasion. You can absolutely treat the whole person in our locations.
That sounds wonderful.
Our sisters are very excited about this.
It sounds very restful and relaxing. Speaking of the Women's Center, let's talk a little bit about some of the physicians that are going to be located there.
Sure. We're incredibly fortunate to have access to amazing physicians who get what we're trying to do. This came as a conversation really about why women don't seek health services. And we started to talk to women in the community, again, over about age 45, 48 years old. And often what we heard was, well, I just don't have time. I don't have time. So we always ask the next question, well, do you get your hair done? Do you do the roots? And if the answer to that is yes, it means you probably dedicate about 2 hours of your life every 6 weeks. So it's really not about time. What we found, it's about not creating a relationship with a physician, not having that trusted relationship with a physician. So really, in seeking physicians to work with us on the center, we were so fortunate to have physicians right at the hospital that we could talk to about this, who had the same vision we did for changing the patient experience, creating a trusting relationship, really making this different than what you typically have in a physician office. So Wendy Marshall, Amy's already mentioned Dr. Wendy Marshall, who is a breast surgeon and a general surgeon. Dr. Lola Kwan, who's a gastroenterologist. Very unusual, I have to say, have a female gastroenterologist available to us. She's wonderful. Dr. Nala Merhi is our gynecologist. She's gyne only. We do not do OB in the building. She's dedicated to gynecology and gyne surgery. She'll be bringing in her new partner as well in August.
And I've met her. She's just fabulous.
Terrific.
She's fabulous.
It's terrific. Cardiology is Dr. Joanne Donahue, and with Heartland Cardiology, again, another amazing physician. Plastic surgery is Dr. Alan Chen. Now, we've allowed men in the building, the rogue male. Of course, he said he'd wear a skirt and a wig, but he's a wonderful plastic surgeon, and he makes such a wonderful connection with women. I think it's a wonderful fit. And we were looking for fit. That was more important to us probably than anything else. Urology, we have a female urologist, Dr. Connie Marks. Again, very unusual to have female urology available in a community such as this. You usually see those in academic organizations. Let's see, who did I leave out?
Dr. Coulimbaris is a female neurosurgeon, very unusual, and they can take care of everything from carpal tunnel to extremely serious issues like a brain tumor. And then those things that many people deal with, back pain issues and other nerve ending type of issues when you've got a pinched nerve, for instance, etc. But she's a very skilled neurosurgeon, is able to take care of that. And Dr. Day, who can also take care of our endocrinology issues. And certainly we know so many people nowadays are not only having trouble getting into an endocrinologist, but then for a female to be able to see another female endocrinologist will really make this unique. And to have it coordinated right there in the exact same location with potentially her cardiologist or her primary care doctor upstairs. Where we have several female primary care doctors who are going in. And for instance, we have Dr. Garcia Beach, who specializes in women of this age from a primary care perspective and things like bioidentical hormones. So we've really put an incredible team together that has a great focus. We absolutely love men, we love children, we love seniors, but as Beth said, this is also a really special place for women. So even when you come to check in the Women's Center, you're not going to experience a usual doctor's office. You'll come in, you'll check in, there's hardly any waiting area right there. You'll have the option, if you'd like to change into a warm, fluffy robe. You'll be escorted into a tranquility suite where you can put your feet up, hear soft music, make yourself a cup of tea while you're waiting to, have a mammogram or
So no gown and stainless steel tables.
No, that we are
that's terrific.
trying to truly get away from that, so that and to integrate, so that you really do have specialists who can walk down the hall, and if something's discovered, you might have the specialist right there that day. And if you've got an extra 15 minutes or an hour, you can absolutely slide in a medical spa treatment at the same time, or something as basic as a massage.
Or a little Botox.
Little Botox.
Never heard anyone.
We have what we're calling the tapas menu, small plates for restaurants. And those are the 15-minute treatments that you can kind of squeeze in between everything else if you're just there to really be there for clinical reasons, but you want that extra little topping off, if you will.
Well, and let me say that the Medi Spa is, we take that as seriously as we take the Women's Center.
Absolutely.
This is run by a physician. There are a lot of spas around that do certain procedures, but this is all overseen, the laser procedures, the facial rejuvenation procedures. These are all overseen by plastic surgery and the physicians in the building, and I think that's really important. You can be as harmed doing those type of procedures as any other procedure. So it's very important to us to ensure that we have that oversight of the Medi Spa.
And we don't want something missed. If it really is a skin cancer potential, you don't want somebody treating it as just a simple facial issue.
Right. And there's a huge, I've read, diagnostic imaging area. Is there a diagnostic radiologist on board with this?
Yes, I forgot Mickey Jester. Thank you for mentioning Mickey Jester. We're, again, very fortunate to have a female radiologist who's joined our team, Dr. Mickey Jester. She's been with us from the very beginning. Conceptually, again, another physician who totally gets what we're trying to do in terms of changing the experience, and she will be our radiologist. We'll also have other radiologists who serve the building because we'll be doing a lot of imaging in that building, not just for the Women's Center.
What are some of the diagnostic procedures and equipment that can be done in the building? Is there a mammogram or?
All digital mammo, bone density, ultrasound, CT, MRI with a wider bore. There are a lot of people who do not like being in an MRI because it's very claustrophobic. Of course, flat film, X-ray, and the immediate care center will use that as much, perhaps more, than the Women's Center. Obviously, we'll be using the Women's Center mammography, bone density, ultrasound. Those are things that will be highly used by the Women's Center. But the immediate care center, of course, will be using CT, MRI, and flat film X-ray, typically for those acute injuries that we see in immediate care.
Let's talk about immediate care for a little bit. Physicians on board there as well.
Correct.
Any small emergencies in the community, rather than spend time in a busy emergency room, you could come to your immediate care and be well taken care of.
I think the unique thing about immediate care in this building is the connection between also primary care upstairs. So there'll be 6, 7, 8 doctors eventually upstairs, primary care physicians, internists, family practice geriatricians. And as they're off, as they close up their office and a patient calls and has an issue, they have a relationship with those physicians in immediate care. So they're not sending them somewhere else to have immediate care, and they may or may not communicate. Those are people that we intend to act as a team in that building. Right. So having physicians available to take care of patients after hours, and it's for minor things. Please don't go there with chest pain. It really is for lacerations and the flu. It's a big injury, sports injuries. We'll do a lot of sports injury medicine, the things that you would normally go to in an urgent immediate care, but not something that is an emergency, like difficulty breathing or chest pain. You wouldn't want to go to an immediate care for that.
And what makes it different from other immediate cares is that level of diagnostics right on site. We have just about everything we have in a full service hospital right there. You will not find in a typical immediate care an MRI, a CT, all of the equipment that lets you have a more accurate and fast diagnosis right there on the spot. You just won't typically find that in a standalone immediate care. So it really changes what you're able to get in terms of your service. And before I forget, I need to add, there's one other really important service that we've put into the Women's Center, and that is a mental health component. So many of the people that are going through age 45 to 65, their lives are changing in dramatic ways, whether it's going through depression because you're getting into the empty nest years, it's dealing with that sandwich generation of having to take care of your own family and aging parents. Maybe you yourself have had a difficult diagnosis or a chronic disease condition you're dealing with. So we have therapists who are going to be in there who will hold everything from one-on-one individual appointments where we've set up a wonderful little suite for them to provide care, and after hours group support.
So maybe some support groups in the future.
Absolutely. So that's something we know we hear everywhere we go, how stressful the world has become and how many things we all have on our shoulders, and we really need that entire scope of help to make it through sometimes.
This sounds like a terrific place, and I know I, for one, have watched from the groundbreaking over a year ago to inch by inch by inch the building has grown, and you're ready for the big drum roll coming up pretty soon.
We're ready.
The community grand opening is on
Saturday the 21st of July from 9 to noon. We're very, very excited about the community opening. We want everybody to come out.
Stuff there for the kids.
Lots of stuff, right? Men and kids will actually be allowed in the Women's Center on that
For the one
day.
and only
Yeah,
time.
the one and only time. And yeah, we have raffles, and we have giveaways, and we have education. We have facial rejuvenation demonstration.
An actual live demonstration.
An actual live demonstration. What else do we have?
Teddy bear and doll
clinic.
clinics for the kids.
Yeah,
We're
so bring
giving
your
away
teddy bears.
NASCAR tickets and entry passes.
That's
and
NASCAR weekend too.
It is. It's NASCAR weekend. So if you like your racing, we'll have future pit passes, Bears tickets, just some of the fun. But it's nice to be able to go and see a place before you actually need it. And the really important thing too is we're already taking appointments. So if you've been waiting a long time to see a female gynecologist or to get into a gastroenterologist and such, we are taking appointments right now. We'll put up on the screen the number that people can call. And so right now, even though we're not actually seeing patients until the 23rd, you can go ahead and get in line so you can be one of the first there and not have to kind of stand in queue in other places, which is great.
That's terrific. Anything else either of you would like to say about the Women's Center or the immediate care, or anything about the open house in general? We'll show the number that they can call for more information, as well as the website. But just basically come on out and have a good time.
Come out, have a good time, and really, try to understand the difference that we're trying to make, and meet some of the physicians and talk about really what this experience is going to be. We really feel like it's a unique experience, and one that's very targeted at such an amazing community need right now.
And several of the physicians will actually be there
Yes.
that day, correct?
Yes.
So it's your one time to get a little one-on-one time with them.
Exactly. So you get to meet some of the physicians and see the buildings. Amy said it's always nice to see the building first. So come on out. I'm told there's going to be a movie character. I can't tell you who it is, but I'm told there'll be a movie character, very popular
That's
movie
always
character.
fun for the kids. That's
Yeah.
always fun for the
Yeah.
kids. And we'll get the sisters to pray for good weather. Everything will turn
We
out
will
fine.
bless the building, that's for sure.
Thank you both for coming.
Thanks for having
and
us.
thank you for joining us today. And I hope to see you out there on July 21st at the Provena St. Joseph Medical Center Women's Center and Healing Arts Pavilion from 9 a.m. till noon. See you then.